You really need to hurry. Let us start enjoying ourselves before my husband comes back. I'm really in need of it today.
Chichi told Obinna as she looks at him deeply. Before we continue with the story, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more interesting stories, and also hit the notification bell for updates whenever videos like this are uploaded. Once upon a time, in the verdant Igbo village of Umudike, there lived a man named Uzoma, known far and wide for his exceptional hunting skills. Uzoma was the pride of the village, a man whose presence alone could command respect. His tall, bold frame and striking features made him a heartthrob, but it was his intelligence, calm demeanor, and unwavering respect for others that truly set him apart. While women whispered prayers to the gods to be noticed by Uzoma, he had eyes for only one person, Chichi, his wife. Chichi was a woman of exceptional beauty, with skin smooth as polished ebony and a laugh that rang out like a melody. For 5 years they had been married, and in Uzoma's eyes, she was perfection itself. One evening, as Uzoma prepared his hunting tools by the fire, Chichi approached him with a warm smile.
My handsome husband. Will you be out in the forest again tomorrow?
Yes, my beautiful wife. The elders requested fresh meat for the festival. I must bring back something worthy for the festival. I will also bring your favorite meat on my way back. Everyone must be happy.
Sure. You always do. The whole village is lucky to have you, my love.
And I am lucky to have you, my Chichi.
As Chichi walked away, her smile lingered, but her thoughts were elsewhere. The people of Umudike adored Uzoma, but they did not hold the same admiration for Chichi. Rumors swirled around her like the harmattan wind, whispers of secret meetings and stolen glances with other men. One afternoon at the village stream, Neka, the palm wine seller, confronted her.
Chichi, a word of advice. You carry a pot of water on your head, but your feet tread in dangerous places. Be careful.
Chichi feigned ignorance and replied by saying,
I don't know what you mean, Neka.
Neka's lips curled into a smirk.
You know exactly what I mean. Uzoma is a good man, and the gods don't take kindly to a woman who dishonors her husband.
Chichi's smile faltered, but she said nothing. Instead, she turned and walked away, her head held high, ignoring the other women who whispered as she passed. Meanwhile, Uzoma remained oblivious to the rumors. One evening, his best friend, Chijioke, decided to speak up. Uzoma, Chijioke began cautiously as they shared a meal of roasted yam.
Then I must tell you something, and you may not want to hear it. The village is talking about Chichi.
Uzoma's brows furrowed.
Talking about her. What are they saying?
They say she is unfaithful. I've seen things, Uzoma. She spends time with other men when you're away hunting.
Uzoma set down his yam and looked his friend in the eye.
Chijioke, I respect you, but this is nonsense. Chichi loves me, and I trust her completely.
Chijioke sighed and said,
I hope for your sake that you're right.
Despite Chijioke's warning, Uzoma dismissed the rumors. His love for Chichi was steadfast, and he refused to believe she could betray him. Each time he returned from the forest, she welcomed him with open arms and warm meals. How could someone so loving and devoted be unfaithful? One evening, as they sat outside their hut watching the fireflies dance, Chichi leaned against Uzoma.
You've been quiet today. Is something bothering you?
Uzoma shook his head.
No, my love. Just the weight of the hunt.
You carry so much for this village. Sometimes I worry you don't take enough time for yourself.
Uzoma turned to her, his expression tender.
I have everything I need. As long as I have you, I am content.
Chichi smiled, though her gaze flickered briefly toward the village path. Uzoma noticed, but said nothing, choosing to bury the unease growing in his heart. Chijioke, however, could not stay silent. One day, as Uzoma and Chijioke worked together repairing a fishing net, then Chijioke said,
Uzoma, you're my closest friend. I can't sit by while this continues to happen to you. Rumors have been flying around about your wife Chichi, and I can tell you that it might be true.
What do you suggest? I find it hard to sleep at night. I keep thinking about it. I am frustrated.
Let us test her. The next time you go hunting, pretend to leave but stay nearby. If the rumors are false, you know. But if they are true,
Enough of this rubbish. I won't set traps for my wife like she's some wild animal.
Chijioke placed a hand on his shoulder.
I understand your hesitation, but would you rather live in ignorance if she is deceiving you? I want to protect you by letting you know the truth. I won't live with myself if Chichi is cheating on you and I don't get to tell you. Please, my friend, let's try this test.
Uzoma hesitated. Finally, he nodded.
Fine. We'll do it your way. But I pray to the gods you are wrong. Because I don't know what I would do if. In fact, I don't want to even say it. I just pray you're wrong.
The morning of Uzoma's departure was like any other. Chichi helped him pack his tools and waved him off with a bright smile. Bring back something big, she teased. Always, Uzoma replied, kissing her forehead. Chijioke accompanied Uzoma to the edge of the forest, where they parted ways. While Chichi believed her husband had vanished into the wilderness, Uzoma doubled back, hiding in the dense underbrush near his hut. Chijioke positioned himself nearby, ready to act if necessary. Hours passed. Uzoma's heart pounded as he waited, each moment stretching endlessly. As the sun began its descent, a man approached the hut. Uzoma's blood ran cold as he recognized Obinna, the village farmer. The sun hung low in the sky, casting an orange glow over a mudike as Chichi paced anxiously inside her hut. She had been restless all afternoon, stealing glances out the window. When she finally heard a soft knock on the door, a smile spread across her face. "Come in," she whispered, opening the door, just enough to let her lover inside. The man, Obinna, was a young farmer with a muscular build and a swagger that made him stand out in the village. He stepped into the hut, his eyes scanning her with admiration. As he closes the door behind him, he said,
You look beautiful as always, Chichi.
Chichi chuckled, brushing her braided hair over her shoulder.
And you are late as always. Do you know how dangerous this is?
Obinna smirked.
Dangerous. Uzoma isn't even in the village. You said he'd be gone for days. So why are you afraid? We have a lot of time to enjoy ourselves.
Chichi folded her arms and said,
That doesn't mean we have all the time in the world. I told you to come earlier. My husband is a hunter, Obinna. If he catches us...
Obinna interrupted, stepping closer to her.
He won't catch us. He's out chasing antelopes in the forest. I'm here with you, and that's all that matters.
Chichi's resolve softened under his gaze.
You are too confident for your own good. I love your confidence. That's why I chose you amongst all the other men I have.
Obinna tilted her chin up to meet his eyes.
I'm glad you love that part of me. My confidence even made me approach you the first time. Thanks to the gods I do, because Uzoma cannot enjoy you alone.
Chichi laughed softly.
I do, but you need to hurry. Let us finish this before Uzoma comes back. I'm really in need of it today.
Obinna leaned in, a mischievous smile playing on his lips.
You always say that.
Chichi whispered, her voice laced with urgency.
I open up to you because it's true. I'm always in need of it whenever you're close by. You know you're very good at it.
Unbeknownst to the couple, Uzoma and Chijioke had already reached the hut. Uzoma's heart pounded in his chest, each step heavier than the last. Chijioke placed a hand on his friend's shoulder, urging him to remain calm.
Let us see the truth for ourselves. Come on, bro, be strong.
Chijioke whispered. As they approached the door, they heard muffled laughter and soft voices from inside. Uzoma clenched his fists, his jaw tightening with every word. Chichi's voice came through clearly saying,
Obinna, you know we shouldn't be doing this, but I can't just stop myself from being with you. Uzoma doesn't know how to make me feel this way. If only he is that good. I so hate that part of him.
Uzoma froze. The word struck him like a dagger to the chest. Chijioke gave him a nod, and together they pushed the door open with force. The scene inside the hut was one Uzoma would never forget. Chichi and Obinna scrambled in shock, their faces pale. Chichi grabbed a wrapper to cover herself, while Obinna, caught off guard, stood motionless for a moment before bolting toward the back door. Coward, Uzoma bellowed, but he didn't pursue Obinna. His eyes were fixed on Chichi, who had fallen to her knees, sobbing.
Uzoma, I.
She tried to apologize, but her voice trembled. Uzoma roared, his voice shaking with fury and heartbreak.
Don't you dare speak. After all I have done for you. After all the love I have shown you. This is how you repay me.
Chijioke stood beside him, silent but stern as he said coldly.
The whole village must hear of this.
Chichi cried and replied Chijioke saying,
No, please, forgive me. I made a mistake. I'll never do it again. Please forgive me.
Uzoma stepped back, his face hardening.
A mistake. You call this a mistake? You have shamed me, Chichi. You have shamed our home, our ancestors. You are no wife of mine.
The commotion quickly attracted a crowd. Men, women, and children gathered outside the hut, their voices buzzing with questions and disbelief. What happened? One woman whispered to another. They say Chichi was caught with another man, an elder replied gravely. When Uzoma emerged from the hut, his face was a mask of anger and pain. He raised his hand, silencing the murmurs. My wife has betrayed me, he announced, his voice steady but filled with sorrow. She has brought disgrace upon my name and upon this village. The villagers erupted in angry shouts. A married woman cheating? It is an abomination, cried one elder. Chichi has disrespected us all, shouted another. Chijioke stepped forward. Let us take this matter to the Council of Elders, he said. They will decide her fate. Chichi, still inside the hut, sobbed quietly. She knew what awaited her. Under the shade of the great Irako tree, the Council of Elders convened. Uzoma stood before them, recounting the events of the evening. Chichi knelt nearby, her head bowed in shame. Aize, the oldest elder, stroked his white beard thoughtfully. Chichi, he said finally, his voice heavy with disappointment, you have committed a grave offense. Adultery is not just a betrayal of your husband. It is a betrayal of our customs and traditions. I beg for forgiveness, Chichi whispered, her voice barely audible. Please give me another chance. Aize shook his head. Forgiveness is not ours to give. The gods demand justice, and the laws of our land must be upheld. The verdict was clear. Chichi was to be banished from the village. By sunset, Chichi's belongings were packed into a small bundle. The villagers gathered to witness her departure, their faces a mixture of anger and pity. Uzoma stood at the edge of the crowd, his face stoic. Chichi approached him one last time, her eyes brimming with tears. Uzoma, she said, her voice breaking, I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I am sorry. I will regret this for the rest of my life. Uzoma looked at her, his expression unreadable. Regret will not undo the damage you have done, he said. Go, and may the gods have mercy on you. As Chichi walked away from the village, the weight of her actions pressed heavily on her shoulders. The life she had once known was gone, and she had no one to blame but herself. Uzoma turned his back on her and walked away, vowing to never let betrayal darken his heart again. We've come to the end of this story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel and share to loved ones. Thank you very much.